Hi, Reuben Salimu, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. So, it's after the first round. Who was your first round opponent and how was the game?
I never met him, so I didn't get to play. It was Lafin's Maketa, I think, and he didn't pitch up, so
Okay.
that was a hard-fought win for me.
Hard fought.
No, It's
Yes.
actually quite disappointing when your opponent doesn't pitch up because you actually lose if you don't play. You don't warm up for the first round, and obviously the rating points. So
Yes, of course, the rating is important and probably
Yeah.
the momentum as well.
exactly, yeah.
Yes.
So I've been my first round in the second round.
That's true. So maybe someone else has been tired out and you'll be fresh and ready to go.
Yeah.
Yes. So I have a few questions about your current projects.
Yeah.
What do you have lined up for 2024?
It's quite a lot. I mean, so I'm excited a lot with the school because obviously we are expanding. We're getting to a new zone of expansion. We've had a lot of new kids coming from the primary, going to the high school, and just building that system for Curro. And part of what we've been working on now has been to expand other Curros in Cape Town. So almost, I think half of them now have got either a coach and they are ready to go into the new year. So that it's not just Curro Devonville. So that's something I'm really excited about going forward, because I think if we have each school producing, let's say, 400 or 500 chess players, that can have a huge impact on the chess community in general.
That's a great answer. I
Yeah.
like that. Okay. And I've seen some posts on social media about sponsored tech brands or products. How did that come about?
So because chess actually encompass all aspects of life, I've always had the belief that you could have chess with a energy drink, or chess with a tech company, or chess with a something to do with health. There's so many elements or many angles to chess. So whenever we meet a potential sponsor, it's just a question of how do we angle chess so that it fits in with the sponsor that that we are working with. So lately, Huawei has been one of our sponsors, and there we essentially are looking at the way technology interacts with training. And when you look at food places, I mean, there's so many angles. We recently actually had a deal with a Chinese food restaurant. So,
Incredible.
so a lot of people are going to be having sushi or playing chess.
Oh, yes, please. I recently saw a video, I think I got sent it this morning,
Yeah.
where you replace the pieces with sushi.
Oh my God.
And then, you have that incentive to capture pieces.
If you capture, yeah. The more you capture. I
Yes.
like concepts like that, because honestly, I mean, if we are here in Africa, for a lot of people, playing chess is not to become a world champion. For a lot of people, playing chess is to enhance other areas of your life. So I think it's so worthwhile for countries and continents like ours to make chess much more fun and inclusive, as opposed to just be going for top tier achievements. Yeah. So whenever there's gimmicks like that, I think it just makes the whole experience fun for everyone.
Yeah, I like that Chinese food. That's interesting. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mentioned the tech brands and Huawei sort of
Yeah.
climbing on board. What would your recommendations be in terms of chess programs and maybe online websites to use? What is your go-to and what do you recommend for your kids?
All students in the academy, for openings, they use Chessable.
Chessable?
Especially openings, they use Chessable. But Chessable is much more broader than that. It's you can learn all aspects of the game on it. So without a question, we definitely endorse the use of Chessable. Lee Chess and chess.com pretty much are platforms which you can use for playing. I don't really think it matters which one you use. I've recently discovered through my son that there's some functions I didn't even know on Lee Chess that are amazing. So I think just playing around with those apps is going to be beneficial. I do think that you have to balance what you do online with things that you can sort of marry with over-the-board activities, because it's one thing to see chessboards in 2D all the time, It's very important that you see them also in 3D. So when you do something, or if you're playing a long game, let's say online, it might be worth it to actually put a board out and play, so that it's not just, like online.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. So,
okay. And so you're making waves in the coaching world.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what your personal goals are in terms of your own improvement.
Okay, so my own personal goals pretty much link up with what I do in coaching. So if you are aware, for you to become like an international trainer, you have to raise your rating. So at this point, all my objectives in playing is to get my rating above 2200, so that I can...
Is that the prerequisite?
Yeah, to become I'm a FIDE trainer now, FIDE instructor, sorry. But if you want to become a trainer, rating has to become over 2200, and then you have to redo the exam again. And the point being that I do think that I do have a lot to offer in terms of coaching. And I know for certain that the success that I get in coaching is not just due to the fact that I can teach chess, but there's more to teaching chess than the technical aspects of chess. And that aspect I would like to work with FIDE, so that I can maybe train on a broader scale like other trainers in other countries.
Right, so you still compete actively, as we see. Do you find that training others affects your own play?
I think inevitably it does, but not necessarily in a negative way. I just think that when you train and you take it seriously, you just don't have time to work on your chess. That's just the reality of it. If you're working consistently on players that are, let's say, below you, that's not the opponents that you play. So I can never use it. It's almost like just someone who works as an accountant, who doesn't have time to work on chess. You can be working on chess, but not working on your chess. So it's if you manage your time well, I think you can sort of balance it. And I think part of it lies in the economics of chess. If what you're doing is paying enough for you to be comfortable to say, okay, I'm going to allocate this much time to my own chess, then it works. But what sometimes happens is that the economy of it doesn't work, so you end up overcoaching, let's say, and you never have time to work on your own chess. So that's just the realities of life.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to make sure it works and balances.
So that feeds into my next question, and probably my final question.
Oh,
Sorry for bugging you.
Oh, no. I'm okay with answering. Because I think sometimes there's a lot of questions that people might have.
Yes.
That they don't have someone to just be there and field those questions. And this helps a lot.
Be careful, I'm going to bug you a lot this tournament then. Yes.
No problem.
So feeding into the topic of, chess being a lucrative source of income when it comes to competing, what do you think chances are of South Africa producing professional chess players solely? What would you do differently in the country to help players coach less and play more if that's what they want to do?
Okay, so the challenge is, how do we make it viable as an ecosystem, the chess ecosystem, so that it makes it worthwhile, whether one wants to coach, whether one wants to play, that it's viable. I have proposed this in the past, and I do believe it's the way to go. So the first thing that needs to happen is there has to be a national membership system. Let's say that membership system is $100. So just bear with me. It's going to be a little bit of math. So 100 Rand. The last time I checked, Chess South Africa has a database of over 50,000 people. So each person paying $100 as a member of Chess South Africa would produce about 5 million. Now, if we took that 5 million and we said half of it is going to go towards chess tournaments, that would be 2.5 million. If we took 250,000 and allocated it to each province for this big tournament, we would have 10 tournaments once a month in each province with a prize fund of over 250,000 before anyone pays any entry fee. Now, what you would then do is to say, any Chess South Africa tournament, a member pays 50% entry fee. And it doesn't have to be a ridiculous amount. It could be, again, $100. So a member would pay 50 Rand, a non-member would pay $100. But by the time you compete in your second tournament, you would see how silly it is to not have paid your membership. So there will be a tournament with a prize fund of 250,000. Let's say first prize gets 50 grand. It would make it worthwhile for a real professional to follow the tournaments, whichever province they are in. Number one, we would then empower all those provinces. But also, there will be an incentive for a player to work hard if he's going to be each month maybe netting a prize fund of 50 grand. But then we allocated half of that membership towards the tournaments. Half of that membership would go towards development, let alone the amount of money that people are paying as entry fees. But then again, once you have a tournament where 2,000 people are coming to, sponsors would find it easy to be part of such a campaign. So you'd have more money to move around as needed for different things. So I don't think that there is a scarcity in the economy. There is just no system that's just been implemented to try and make it possible for people to survive as chess players.
That's very insightful. And if that system were to be implemented, would you rather play more or coach like you are?
I'm a coach.
You're a coach.
I would grow my academy more.
Okay, amazing.
There'll be more players. Yeah. I mean, it's not accidental that I coach chess. I totally enjoy what I do and innovating around it. So you'll see that we have an app and we've got a mobile app and all those things. And I'm always trying to figure out how kids can do better, how can trick them into reading and stuff like that.
Okay,
So
amazing.
So yeah, that's my calling. I totally enjoy coaching and I do it in many different ways. Yeah, and I like playing, but I'm not. In my nature, I'm not very competitive, really. like that, you know what I'm saying? At least in chess, I'm competitive in other aspects, in making a change. I am very competitive in tackling social issues and stuff like that. So
that's amazing. Okay.
yeah, but yeah, maybe not. I can totally see even with my kids that they're much more competitive than I am.
I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much, Reuben, for your time.
It's a pleasure.